80 million tons of plastic is produced each year. 30 million tons of that plastic is produced by the U.S. alone. Of that 30 million tons, only 2.7 million tons of plastic are actually being recycled. This means only 9% of plastics are being recycled, leaving the other 91% unaccounted for. The unrecycled plastic is finding its way into ecosystems, watersheds, and even the food chain. We caught up with environmental activists and volunteers at the Audubon Coastal Center in Milford, Connecticut to see what people in the community are doing to help alleviate these issues of pollution.
And I grew up around the ocean, and I've learned a lot over the years about how our stewardship of the water and how we treat the environment directly affects not only the fish and the birds, but us eventually. When we do these beach cleanups, we find a lot of plastic. There's plastic everywhere. And what a lot of people don't realize is that birds and turtles ingest that plastic and eventually could kill them.
So the plastics also are a biohazard because they don't biodegrade, they microdegrade into tinier and tinier pieces. And then birds actually eat them.
When we're doing a cleanup like this, we're not just cleaning it up so it looks nice. We're doing it because it helps to make our environment more healthy for the birds and turtles and other animals that live in and around it. A lot of people don't know is that plastic never actually really disappears, that plastic doesn't biodegrade, it photodegrades, which means that it never completely goes away. It breaks down under sunlight, but all that means is that it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller particles until it's just the polymers. Those polymers become dissolved in seawater and it's ingested by animals, winds up in the food chain. So plastic is something we really need as a society to really seriously use a lot less of and make sure that we recycle what we do use.
To do more of giving back, both to other groups and to the wildlife, that there's just so much trash that keeps piling up, and do a little bit of picking it up. I always try and do that on my dog walks in the Naugatuck State Forest. I figure even if I can only manage to get one piece of trash picked up, that's one piece of trash that comes out.
It doesn't take much effort, really. It's just a matter of going out and spending a little time cleaning up, and also on the prevention end, not using plastic bags, not using plastic bottles, and if you have to use them, recycle them. The less plastic there is out there from daily use, the less winds up in the water.
Environmental activists and volunteers gathered at Milford Point to not only restore the cleanliness to the beaches, but to also improve the quality of life of Connecticut's indigenous wildlife, as well as its people. Recycling, reusing, and cleanup events are simple ways people are able to minimize the amounts of plastic that end up in the environment and our communities.